If we're not at a Disney park, we're dreaming about being there, and a cup of Joffrey's Coffee Disney Blend helps. But what about when you're at a Disney park? The Joffrey's Disney Kiosk and Restaurant Locator will make sure you never miss out, whether it's a cool drink on a hot summer vacation or a great cup of coffee at a Disney signature restaurant. Joffrey's has you covered. Check it out at joffreys.com.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our final boarding call, and the doors will be closing soon.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott.
I'm Bob Collar.
This is ResortLoop.com. Bob, this is 549. This is also known as the DVC Roundtable for May 2018.
Whoa. This is way early for us.
Well, it's recorded early. I don't know how when it'll air, but hey, that's fantastic.
Right, there is
the last day of the month, guys.
I know.
Right. Squeeze it in. We got to squeeze these in. Oh my goodness. Well, we've gotten over some technical difficulties anyway, Tim. So
we did.
Hopefully we can record this show if it's actually recording today.
Well, no, we make no promises.
Right. Exactly. Who do we have, Tim?
Joining us tonight is Rebecca Toone.
Well, hello there.
Hello, Mr. Joe Quattrochi.
I know.
Whoa.
Back that up. What was that?
That was me being super excited to be back because I missed you guys so much last month.
Oh, how you doing?
Okay.
There's just a hole in my entire month.
Oh, wow.
Well, you got to stop going to Mexico to get your
I guess.
tequila.
Oh, and we also have Mr. Joe Quattrochi.
It is a pleasure to be on the air with such culinary geniuses as yourselves, guys.
Oh, wow.
It's an honor.
You talking about Rebecca?
Yeah, really.
I don't know if you noticed, Joe. Mine said Helper Bob. I just shoved my hand in the meat and
every job, every part of the process is important, Bob. Remember that.
Exactly.
Is that right?
Well, mine says head drinker, so I don't think that you should depend on me either.
Oh my goodness! Hey, Tim, we might have some guests in the Resort Loop kitchen coming up down the road.
There might be some new sorts of dishes and some maybe guest chefs.
Yeah, could be interesting.
I think so.
But this isn't the recipe box show.
No.
This is a DVC show. We're missing Brad Coates. Brad's
he's currently
on his way.
He's en route to Walt Disney World. Our boots on the ground.
Man.
He'll come back with some
right?
fresh info for us. And Emily Hansa Hicks, she might appear.
She
may, if we can find her.
She's still at the bar.
The piano bar.
She's still at the lounge. She's lounging.
She is, what do they call that when you're late? Fashionably
Parenting.
late.
Right.
She's fashionably late. Or parenting. One of the two.
It's called parenting.
Yeah, or Skype issues. It could be any of the three. We really don't know.
We need a DVC Roundtable kids club. So that we can get the kids in a kids club, maybe.
It's more of a DVC square table right now.
Well, we took the leaf out of the round table.
Or maybe even a bench. I don't know.
It's a TV
just
tray.
A
TV tray.
We're in a breakfast
TV
today.
That's
it's
awesome.
the DVC Resort Roundtable TV tray episode.
We're eating around the garbage can like you would at Food and Wine.
Yeah, there you go.
Awesome,
There
man.
you go.
Never has there been finer dining.
There you go.
I'm actually going to stand during this episode just in honor of that. I'm going to get off my chair. I'm just going to stand now.
Not necessary, Joe. But
Would you like me to waft hot garbage in your general direction so you can have a real authentic experience?
What do they call those actors that really get into the role so they actually go out and do whatever it is? That's what Joe's doing.
Method actor.
Method.
That's right.
Method podcaster.
Anything worth doing is worth doing right.
Yay!
And all the listeners out there are going, will they just shut up and talk about DVC? I got to find out whether I should buy into this thing or
That's
not.
right. We do have some news
People
stories.
people have all their notepads and they're just throwing them in the air.
Exactly.
How do I get a refund is what they're saying.
A refund of $0.
Right.
There you go.
All right.
Awesome.
Rebecca, you want to start us off with our
I'll
first?
start because I have a story to tell you.
Fantastic.
I am going to tell you the story of the Disney After Hours program.
Ooh.
In 2016, Walt Disney World introduced Disney After Hours, a program which offered late-night access to the Magic Kingdom with limited crowds and other perks. Priced at $149 per person for 3 hours of exclusive park access, lukewarm fan reception prompted Disney to offer half price and even free admission to DVC owners on most nights. The program returned with a lower price in winter of 2017 and continued into winter of 2018 with many nights reportedly sold out. This will be Disney's first attempt to expand the program into the summer months. Currently, 11 dates are planned for summer of 2018, including the 28th and 30th of June, the 7th, 9th, 14th, 20th, 21st, and 28th of July, as well as August 4th, 11th, and 30th. The event window runs from 9 o'clock till 1 a.m. nightly, midnight on July 20th, and with most park attractions open exclusively for paid participants of Disney After Hours. Complimentary refreshments and exclusive entertainment are also offered. The current price is $119 plus tax per person for advance ticket purchases or $124 on the day of. Discounted tickets are available to DVC members and annual pass holders at a rate of $89, which is actually a significant savings. Event attendees can enter the park as early as 7 p.m., much like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. No additional theme park ticket media is required. Tickets are not yet available for purchase online, but will soon be available via the Disney Special Event Ticket page. DVC member-exclusive Moonlight Magic events are nearly identical in format and available free to qualifying DVC owners and their guests. 14 dates are scheduled across a variety of parks in 2018. The next Moonlight Magic event will be held in Disney's Animal Kingdom on the night of May 16th, which I believe has already passed. So, sorry you missed it. The event is currently in capacity, and no additional reservations are being accepted. So you're all a day late and $1 short.
But it was a lot of fun.
Wow.
It was a good time.
But apparently it was a great time. I actually did read a lot of feedback on this, and they said it's really fun, especially because it's free to DVC owners and their guests. Do keep in mind those are for DVC owners that have bought direct from Disney, not resale. So you'll want to keep that in mind if that's a specific perk that you're looking for. Otherwise, if you are a DVC member or an annual pass rate holder and you're looking to attend one of the Disney After Hours events, you could probably score one of those for $89, which if you can get in at 7 o'clock and stay until 1 a.m., I actually might consider this one. How about you, Joe?
Well, first of all, yes, so the Moonlight Magic events are awesome, but they're like nearly impossible to get in. You have to be like on the site or on the phone the day it like opens up. So this is like a great alternative to that program.
And
now
I was dates in the entire year, so they're pretty spread out.
Yeah, so I was very vocal last year about all these extra nights and paying all this extra money. However, the $89, I've kind of been warmed up to it a little bit. The $89 for DVC and AP holders isn't a bad price. And one of these dates is actually on my birthday, which is
Nice.
August 11th. So maybe I could talk. Yeah, so maybe I could talk my wife into doing this. So this is actually something I'll actually look into, because even though we go a lot and we're fortunate to go a lot, this might be something to experience the parks at a much lower capacity, to maybe ride Seven Dwarfs Mine Train once in a while, even though it's
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's always like packed, like to maybe ride Space Mountain over and over again, or Splash Mountain or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like
if you invite your regular wife, don't forget to invite your Disney wife also, because I could see this happening.
That's automatic. You're automatically.
Well, here's my thought too. In August, I don't really want to go to the park until 7 o'clock at night because it's just too hot.
True. Yeah. Right.
So I figure about 7 o'clock, it's actually bearable. So I would pay to spend, what is that, 6 hours?
Yeah.
For $89, yeah.
It's just $89, just not to wait in so many lines.
Right. And
really just ride your to your heart's content.
Do you recall what the complimentary refreshments were? Were they like Mickey bars and?
For the Moonlight Magic, it was like Mickey bars. It was they had like lemonade and like Coke products. They had chips. But this was like 2 years ago, so I haven't had a chance to go to one of those events since then. So I don't know what is offered now if they've changed up those offerings. But
I mean, if you can put away the Mickey bars, you could make some money here.
Just eat them as fast as you can. Then you get a tummy ache.
Now, is this only at Magic Kingdom, or is this all the parks kind of spread out?
I believe,
depending on.
I believe for the after hours,
It's
I
Magic
think
Kingdom
it is only Magic Kingdom.
Oh, okay.
Now, Moonlight Magic works across all. Like, for instance, this one in May was at Animal Kingdom. And a number of friends that I happen to know happened to be there, and were actually at one of the families I know was there. And the pictures that they took of Pandora and so, some of the other parts of the park were really beautiful. And just like Joe said, the crowds were minimal.
Right. See, that would that I can understand. That Moonlight Magic must go quick, just because of the fact that you're hitting different parks. So, and being in Animal Kingdom, especially that late at night, would be very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
What I think happens. I'm sorry, Rebecca. What happens with those Moonlight Magic events as well is I've seen things online where people will make reservations and just not show up.
Yes.
And so that's why it's even less. They'll be on a list, and when you show up, you say, "Hey, here's my DVC card, and I'm on the list." And it's great, you go in, but they don't like penalize you if you don't show up, and they only take so many reservations. So a lot of times, I know when I did the DVC, the equivalent to the Moonlight Magic event at Animal Kingdom, my wife and I, we rode Everest by ourselves on the train by ourselves like 5 or 6 times in a row. There wasn't a soul on that train except us. It was fantastic.
Wow.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, so I mean, you're always going to get less than even what the reservations say. So paying $89 in Magic Kingdom, have lesser crowds, it might be something that I would look into, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so like you could pop in at 7, see the fireworks, and then take off.
Right.
That would be
right.
That would be. Now, I'm wondering, and I'm just looking, so I'm kind of reading as I say this, but it does also appear, I know one of the original complaints about this after hours event is that you're paying $100+, and a lot of the e-ticket rides weren't even open. And I'm looking at it now, and it does say that a Magic Kingdom park, that means little to no wait for at least 25+ attractions and experiences, including favorites like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid, Space Mountain, and many more. So it looks like they've also sort of adjusted what was open.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which is, I think, part of it, because I do remember when this first came out, part of because we were kind of comparing this experience to like one of the Halloween parties or one of the Christmas parties, and one of the big downsides to it was that there were only like 6 attractions open or something like that. It was really limited, and so it looks like they've really expanded the options for this, which is great.
Rebecca, that's been happening even with extra magic hours in the morning. I know when Jen and I would go, during our longer, like full, week-long trips, we'd go to the Magic Kingdom for extra magic hours in the morning, and like half the stuff wasn't even open. It's like, there's like part of Fantasyland and like a quarter of like Tomorrowland was open.
Yes.
That was it. I'm like, really?
Like,
this
what
is it?
What is this?
What am I even here for?
Yeah. Yeah, and even at $119, I mean, you think what is current one-day admission to Magic Kingdom? It's over $100.
It's about
so.
that, yeah.
Even
About
if you're
that.
not getting the DVC or annual pass holder rate at $119, if you are a family of 4 on a time limited budget, this might be a great way to spend a day's worth of money, a day's ticket worth of money to get in and try to see everything at once in the cooler hours of the evening and not stress so much.
And you can make a great day out of this. I mean, if this is your only park ticket, you get to the Magic Kingdom early, or you go and you park at one of the resorts, you have a nice dinner, even if it's counter service at like Captain Cook's or somewhere at the Contemporary or Grand Floridian. Then you head on the monorail, head over, and then you go from there. And I've said this on many shows before, there's nothing like Disney parks at night.
Absolutely.
Disney parks at night are it's a whole different feeling. It's an amazing feeling. I always tell my wife, a golf course never looks better than at dusk, and it's the same thing with a Disney park. A Disney park looks amazing at dusk and sundown. So I would always trade, a morning Magic Kingdom day I would rather have a night Magic Kingdom night, at a dusk time. So that's something, you make a nice night out of it. You have some drinks, and now they even serve alcohol in the Magic Kingdom at all the restaurants now. So you can have a cocktail or two at your dinner, make it a nice night, and probably save yourself a little bit of money by not even buying that full day.
Yeah, and I think you would fit a full day's worth of rides and activities into that 7 to 1. Just make sure you take a nap in the mid-afternoon.
Or the people over at night, as it's
and I think that's the point. Is if you're going to be able to fit in a full day for that price, then it's worth it. If you're not getting what you could get the whole day at the parks, then it's not worth it. But great point. You get to save some money because you're not eating lunch and dinner at the parks. You're just going to ride the rides and have a good time. And maybe have, like Joe said, a cocktail or two, and yeah.
Apparently,
I like it.
The refreshments offered are ice cream novelties and bottled beverages.
So Coke products and ice cream bars.
And water. I mean, water too is that's.
It's a gold
I know
mine.
I talk a lot about my tequila, but water's also good.
Got to stay hydrated in August. That's for sure.
Sugar, and more sugar. I love it.
Yeah. So I think this is a great. I think they've kind of hit their stride. They had some bumps along the way, but I think they hit their stride on this one.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Joe, what do you got?
So Disney Parks blog put out a story about some itineraries for DVC Member Cruises for 2019. So Disney Cruise Line ships will become quote-unquote memberships twice in 2019, with one ship, one departing each from each U.S. coast, taking the members' cruise tradition to places it's never been before. So we've got some new itineraries for member cruises. So we got May 15th through the 20th, 2019, excuse me. Members and their guests will sail for 5 nights aboard the Disney Wonder from San Diego, California, making stops in San Francisco, Victoria, BC, Canada, before disembarking in Vancouver, BC, Canada. And then we got an October 5th through 12th, 2019 cruise. The Disney Magic will host our 7-night member cruise voyage out of New York City, with members and their guests enjoying a port stop in Boston and a 2-day visit to Bermuda before returning to New York City. So all over the Atlantic there. Like all member cruise voyages, the 2019 sailings will elevate the already spectacular Disney Cruise Line experience with broad lineups of special entertainment from some of Disney's greatest storytellers, commemorative in-room gifts, and more. I can't even talk tonight. Those are some big words for me. Member services will begin taking reservations for both voyages on June 23rd, 2018. So if you're interested in any of these 2 cruises, contact your member services guide through DVC, and they'll take care of you there. So for more information, you can always visit DVCMemberCruise.com for more info. And again, this goes back to what Rebecca said previously. It's all about you have to have a valid DVC member card to partake in these cruises. So if you weren't grandfathered in or did not buy direct from Disney, you will not be eligible for these. So as somebody who still has not taken a Disney cruise, I've been pondering this for a while. I got to get the wife and I to go on a Disney cruise. Even if it's not a member cruise, we got to try this.
You do.
Tim and Bob, you guys have both been on it. I don't think, Rebecca, have you been on a Disney cruise yet?
Not a Disney, and I love cruising, so Disney is the next logical step for me.
I haven't been on a cruise since I was like 9 years old. It was like a Carnival cruise. I don't remember much about it.
Oh,
and I know it's like not even comparable.
No.
So
it's a life-changing cruise.
Yeah, it's like I'm afraid to open up this door. I can open up the DVC door. So doing a Disney Cruise Line show.
I love that. I love the play on words there. That's pretty cute.
Oh yeah.
So so we'll, this is, it's out there. So I know with the DVC cruises, I believe that they book up pretty quickly as well, as do the regular cruises. I know Tim and Bob, you guys book people through Resort Loop travel groups. I don't know how fast these cruises book up or just cruises in general book up. But if you really want to, if one of these itineraries, tickles your fancy, go ahead and call DVC Member Services and they will take care of you.
I will say, I think I've heard these DVC member cruises sell out fast. And Bob and I actually have a client who's a resale buyer. And he wanted to take a cruise, called Member Services, and that, like you said, they informed him that you can't pay cash. Even if you're a resale member, you can't use cash. You're not eligible.
Really?
You're not eligible for the cruise. Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know if anybody else had experience with that, but yeah, they're getting to become a stickler with the buying direct from them.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to see more of that actually.
And that's the one card that and it's sad because for members who do have who are eligible for these perks. We're making out, we're getting all these extra things that are being floated out there, and it's great. However, I still feel for the resale buyers they're DVC members, but they're not eligible for these things. It's a two-way street. It's great for half the population, but it stinks for the other half. They're being excluded. So it's a catch-22. But that's the one ship that they hold, and they're going to keep playing it. And like I said, it's going to help some of us out, but unfortunately it's going to exclude another half of the population as well.
Right.
Right. Yeah, and I don't even as a non-member, even from the outside looking in, so to speak, I don't necessarily look at it as exclusionary. It's just a perk you get depending on what you buy. Right. I mean, I think that it's fair. I mean, we always talk about Disney and it's magical, but it is a business, and I think it makes good business sense to take care of the people who buy directly from you. I think it's a pretty standard business model. So I mean, I think it just comes down to being an informed consumer. If you want that, buy direct from Disney.
It's always about doing the math. I mean, if these perks are going to work out for you, then buy direct.
Did I read or hear somewhere recently where they upped the number of points you had to buy direct? Did I read that somewhere?
I'm been a little out of the loop the last week. So
okay, I'll have to go.
I know they upped the minimum amount. So like you used to be able to buy the 25 point contract.
Yeah, that's
they
what
upped that. About. I think it's 50 now. I believe it's 50 or 75. Yeah, you can't get that like cheap little contract anymore. They definitely upped it and made it more substantial. Like you have to buy a decent amount of points. Yeah. But what's funny is speaking about buying a minimum amount of points. I was in the airport and I was, like I said, I'm a DVC nerd, right? I'm like reading the history of DVC on DVCinfo.com. Great website if anybody out there is interested in how DVC got started and all about the plans that they had and they didn't go through and whatever. But do you know there was a 250 minimum point buy when they first launched DVC?
Wow.
Imagine that.
Wow.
It was like $51 a point.
Wow.
What is it now, right? It's crazy. So go figure.
Yeah.
How times have changed 25 years later. Yep. But you had to buy, according to that website, you had to buy 250 points minimum. Now, it's changed since then, obviously.
Sure, yeah. I think it's amazing how it's evolved over the years. And the cruising, I think, is a really cool component of it. One of the rental companies, one of the rental brokers that's out there now has actually, I think they've realized how popular cruising has become. So now they actually have an entire component of their website that's dedicated to swapping your points for a cruise. So like you tell them what cruise you want to take, they'll tell you what you can get for your points and how much extra, if any, it would cost. And then they handle all the brokerage so that you can rent your points versus using them to cruise. You rent your points for cash and then pay that out for the cruise, which is, I think that's good business sense.
Better way to go, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Tim and Bob, these ports eventually sailing out of New York and sailing out of San Diego. Did you guys always go out of Port Canaveral, or did you guys? Tim, you went out of New York once, I believe, right?
Yes, we did. Yes, right next to the Intrepid.
Was that experience good? I mean, and most people seem to go out of Port Canaveral, Cocoa Beach. How was going out of New York? I've seen the Disney cruise ships when I used to drive to work when I worked in Manhattan. Is it a good experience? Like, is that itinerary like a decent itinerary, or I'm just curious?
It's decent.
I've always seen the cruise ships in New York. I just never knew where they actually went from the New York Port of Call.
Yeah, we went to Nova Scotia, up around Canada that way. It was a really fun cruise. It was a 5-night cruise. The scariest part of the cruise was the cab ride to the port. that was interesting. That was like something from a movie.
Having left from New York, I understand.
Yes. And it was very interesting. It was interesting, sailing out by the Statue of Liberty, going under, what is it, the Verrazano Bridge?
The Verrazano Bridge, yeah.
That was very cool.
Beautiful photo op.
I will say the water leaving there was a little rougher than we've experienced out of Florida until we got to deeper waters.
When did you take your cruise?
Oh, it was I don't know, maybe 4 years ago, something like that. It's been a little bit.
Like what month?
Oh, it would have been June or July, probably July.
Oh, okay. So in the summer. Okay.
Yes.
This might be decent weather in October. It'd be nice fall weather. I mean, it's not going to be shorts weather, but.
We cruised out of New York actually on St. Patrick's Day. And that was, they wouldn't even let us out on the ship because it was iced over. So we had to stay inside until we got out, into safer territory where it would melt.
Wow.
Yes.
I would think that would be a beautiful cruise. I mean, the leaves, you're going to have the leaves, the colors and all of that. That's going to be a good one. Now, Tim, you also did up around Vancouver. You did the Alaskan cruise.
From Vancouver.
That's on my list.
That was a life-changing cruise also. Smoothest water on any cruise. Beautiful port. Oh. Vancouver's
I love
beautiful.
hearing that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's the one my wife wants to do bad. She wants to go to the do the Alaskan cruise. So I like the idea of this California one, though. I think that would be kind of cool. Taking off out of San Diego and hitting San Francisco and BC. So, yeah, might be fun. Get to see that whole California coast.
Why haven't you cruised? I mean, do you have something...
Well, I think that Jen is just not 100% sold on it. So it's one of those things that she's just a little, I don't want to say nervous about, but she's just kind of like, And we've always just either gone, we've been doing marathon weekend. We went out to Disneyland last year with Brittany and Justin. We were going to Hawaii this year to Alani. So we've always had these bigger trips. So we've never really come around to doing a Disney cruise. And they're a little pricey too. I mean,
they are.
But, I've been trying to talk her into like a 3 or a 4 day cruise just to try it out. And if we don't like it, then we don't do it anymore. And just everybody's gone on these cruises. I know Tim and Bob have, and people from other podcasts and other friends that we have. And I've not heard like one bad thing about it. Like, I mean, they're clean. Their service is fantastic. So we got to make this happen eventually. There's just so many things going on right now. Like,
well, I will change that then. I'm going to tell you something bad about it.
Here we go.
We did the 3-day.
Uncle Bob has something bad to say.
Don't make me get on a rant. But we did the 3-day cruise. There's a 3-night cruise, and this is the one bad thing I'm going to say. It wasn't long enough. It needed to be on much longer.
I warned him.
I feel that way about 3 days.
I warned
feel
him.
You just get settled, and then you have to get off.
Right.
Yeah, I
Tim
agree.
told me.
I warned you multiple times.
I know.
Did you tell him you told him so, Tim?
Every chance I get.
Anyway, Joe, what do you got over there? You got another story?
So I got another one here, and on Resort Loop here, we love sweepstakes, right? Tim and Bob are always putting out there. Enter the sweepstakes. Some looper out there has to win one of these times.
Winner chicken dinner.
Yeah.
So again, Disney Parks blog has a article out there in celebration and promotion of the Disney Pixar release of Incredibles 2, which, for the record, I am totally stoked about. Everybody knows I am a big Cars guy, but I love the Incredibles. Like, I am super excited about this film.
It is nice.
And I made Jen watch the first one, and she like kind of didn't get it, but she saw me like smiling. She's like, "Okay, we'll go see it." So they are doing for the release of Incredibles 2. Disney is having a DVC sweepstakes. At the Disney Vacation Club, they say, we believe that coming together as a family is a magical thing. That's why today we're launching the Incredible Family Vacation Sweepstakes. So you can enter for a chance to win a 5-day, 4-night Disney Vacation Club getaway to the Walt Disney World Resort for the winner and up to 7 loved ones or 7 DVC Roundtable hosts, co-hosts, or whoever.
Hello.
Right.
Hello.
Exactly. So
we're loved.
Exactly.
Is he saying we're not loved, Tim?
No, Bob, you were included in that. It's all of us. Right?
Oh, okay. All right. Never mind.
And we'll even do a show, right?
Absolutely.
Without a doubt.
Bring the microphones. So the accommodations will be in a 2-bedroom villa at the newest DVC club property, which is Creek Villas and Cabins at Disney's Wilderness Lodge. It's going to also include round-trip flights for up to 8 people. Okay. Wow. So that's a lot. Right?
Yeah.
And it's also including Disney theme park tickets. When does Disney ever throw in the tickets, right? So Disney's throwing in Walt Disney World theme park tickets, and you'll be able to experience the new attractions and entertainment, including the soon-to-be opened Toy Story Land at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So right now you can enter through July 19th. The web address is IncredibleVacationSweeps.com. Again, there's no better way to bring your family this thing than to come together with the DVC and the sweepstakes. So and it says airfare is only provided if the winner lives 250 miles or more from Walt Disney World. So if you live in Jacksonville, you're not going to be able to fly to Orlando. Okay,
you got to drive down and pay to park
all the way.
But if you live in Northeast Ohio,
that parking fee.
And again, no purchase is necessary, and yada yada yada. Go to the Disney Parks blog for all the legal stuff there that Emily would get a kick out of. It's interesting.
We'll make sure we post that.
I'm registering right now.
Sweet.
Shall we? Okay, pause the show. We got to wait till she's done. Seriously, I want a looper to win one of these sweepstakes. I just want to hear what the whole process is like for winning a sweepstakes.
That'd be cool.
How was it? Did they really take care of you? Was it kind of okay, you won, but we don't really care about you anymore? I highly doubt it. But, I just need to know. I need to know.
Inquiring minds need to know.
It doesn't have to even be me winning.
This is a great giveaway. I mean, they're like hooking up with like it's not just like airfare for like up to 4, up to 2. It's like 8 people.
That's
tickets for.
yes.
That's huge.
We could literally be recording the next DVC Roundtable from there.
That'd be awesome.
Well, listen, considering I don't have 7 loved ones, you guys are in.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
All right,
I don't see having 7 liked ones. I could take 7 tequilas with me. That would be a thing.
Bob, if you won, you'd have plenty of people that would love you.
That's true.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
It had to be.
All right, then, if this is the way we're going to go. Rebecca.
You got something special for us.
What?
Rebecca has something special for us.
I mean, it's not that special. It's just something I ran across that I'd like to share because
cool.
I'm a sharer.
This is cool. You were telling us about. This is very cool.
Yeah, I was really excited to learn about this new website. People who rent oftentimes ask me, how do I know what's available? Like, I'm pretty flexible, but I'd like to know when to put my request in. And sometimes you're just kind of sitting at work and you just need a break, and so you want to see when you could possibly go to Disney, because that's how I am. So there's this really great new website. It's called DVCVacations.com. So, and I'll ask Bob and Tim to put this link in the show notes for you. It's DVCVacations.com. They have created a number of tools for DVC membership and also DVC membership but kind of rentals. So if you're like me and you're a renter, one of the great, amazing new tools that they've just launched is the DVC availability tool. And this gives you the ability to sort of look at what resorts have availability as far as studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, and villas. You can put in your arrival and departure dates. You can see what's available for the full time, for the partial time, or maybe booked out completely. It kind of gives you a nice guideline to decide, like, hey, I could pretty much go anytime in August. What should I put in as my request? And it's one of the questions I get asked most often by renters. And we've kind of been beta testing this tool because it's relatively new. And so we've been trying it for a couple months. It's actually really accurate. I would say probably as accurate as the actual DVC website. And so if you put your dates in there, it'll tell you sort of what you can expect as far as availability. Now, just keep in mind that nothing is ever guaranteed. Things can change on a dime. But it does give you a pretty good guideline as to how quickly things are booked up and when you might want to consider. It's also a great tool if you're considering buying and you want to know, like, hey, I really want to buy it Boulder Ridge. How soon would I need to book out if I wanted to stay every November? So it'll kind of give you an idea of what books out quickest. Do you need to be an 11-month? Can you be a 7-month? It gives you a lot of opportunity to take a peek behind the curtain, so to speak. And then one of the other great tools that it's offering for members is an optimization tool. And so what you can do is if you put in the number of points that you have, it'll kind of tell you how best you can use those points, when to stay, where to stay, what level to stay, and how it's best to use those points that you have. So it's a great new website. I've been using it, like I said, for a couple months just to sort of check it out, and I found it to be really reliable. So I would encourage anyone who's considering renting but isn't quite sure of their dates, take a look over there, give it a look, and tell me what you think.
Awesome.
Actually, I'm on it right now for my August trip.
Yeah, did you also register for the sweepstakes, Joe?
I that's next to. I don't mean to jump in, but its thing is super easy. It's just very color coded, easy to read. I was looking at changing my August, because I'm in the seventh month window, and it's super easy to read. It's very It's very simple, very nice to look at. The DVC website is not the most friendliest to use, and if this is pretty accurate, it's a great tool, and it's very easy to compare. Like, okay, if I want to say right now I'm at Saratoga and I want to maybe get something at Copper Creek, I can see the difference in the points for studios versus a 1-bedroom. This is a nice tool to have.
Yeah,
Really
and here's the other nice thing too, Joe, because I'm looking at it as well. I'm looking at Kidani right now, and a studio. It's 95 points, okay, for a studio for the week. So, but it says partial availability. So I click on it to see, and that week that I happen to be looking at, the partial availability, it's actually only one night that's available, which is that Sunday. So, okay, well, now I know that I'm not going to be able to get to studio. So talk about easy. This thing's it's a nice little site. Yeah.
It's a great tool. And I was asked the question, once, because it will tell you if there's availability, how many points it costs to stay at that particular level on that particular day. And they said, well, how do you translate that into dollars? And so what you would do is, once you find out whatever the point value is of your trip, you can then sort of compare that to any of the rental, the brokerage, the brokers that are out there, whichever one you favor, and see what their point or their price per point is, and multiply that dollar amount times the number of points you would need to get an indication of how much you would be spending.
Excellent. That's a great
tool.
find there.
Great
Rebecca.
tool.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been really helpful. And I'm the kind of, you know me, have AP will travel. So I'll be sitting at work and just run the next couple of months just to see what's available. And, oh, look, there's 2 days here that aren't taken. So
Right.
it also can be dangerous. So be careful.
There is that.
I can see that. Absolutely. Well, Tim.
Yes, Bob.
It doesn't look like Emily's going to make it.
No, we'll have to catch her next month.
And we better get a trip report from Brad Coach.
I'm sure we will. That'll be awesome.
And lots of pictures.
Real quick before we go, we got a recipe box coming out tomorrow? I think
tomorrow. I think we should.
I do believe we do.
It'll be exciting.
It's going to be delicious.
Yes.
Oh.
Bob doubted me, but we turned it out.
And
Let's see what it is.
Huh? Just a little behind the scenes. This is a little teaser behind the scenes.
Yes.
The smoke detector went off.
It did
frequently.
It did.
So
there's
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
We just replaced all the smoke detectors in our house.
I one, know that they work now.
That's
and
right.
2, know that it's done. The meal is done.
That's the oven button.
It's a food detector.
Don't be burning down Patty's kitchen, all right?
Exactly.
Awesome.
So, Tim, that's all I've got for the DVC round square table bench. The DVC bench.
The
DVC TV tray. Before we leave,
TV tray.
Rebecca, where can people find you?
Well, you can find me at Twitter at BeccaBerry73, as well as Facebook and Instagram for the same name. And, I'm always up for a drink, so give me a call.
Nice. How about you, Joe? Joe Quattrochi, where are you at?
You can find me over at Twitter at Joe Quat, Instagram, also at the Mickey Dudes podcast, and over at the Resort Loop Rocketeers running club. So we got our numbers are growing. You have a nice little club going over there, and
Runners lately.
Yes, we got a lot of great stories. People be posting about their training. Marathon season's around the corner, so let's get it going, guys.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
A lot of good folks over there.
That's right. And I'm Tim Scott. Facebook, Twitter, the website, ResortLoop.com. But for the most fun, go to YouTube.com/ResortLoop.
Well, I'm not sure. About that.
If you want to make fun of somebody, that's where you go.
Like I said on Facebook, rate us on iTunes. And what else should folks do, Tim?
Go out there and share the gateway to the magic.
See you, everybody.
Vacation memories will stay with you and your family for a lifetime. The Resort Loop Travel Group was created with this in mind. Our fee-free services will relieve you of the stress and confusion of finding and booking the best vacation at the best price. After booking, we will continue to monitor for ways to save you even more on your vacation. We will check for any upcoming packages and discounts to save you as many vacation dollars as possible. Resort Loop Travel Group, gateway to your magical vacation memories. Get a quote, or for more information, visit ResortLoop.com.